Hello, welcome to another video. Today I'm bringing you my September wrap-up. Yay! It's nowhere near as impressive as my August wrap-up. I didn't do anywhere near as well, but I did some reading, so I'm doing a wrap-up. How many did I read? I read 2 comic volumes, 1 graphic novel, and 2 full novels. Let's just dive in, shall we? I will start with the graphic novel. This month I read In Real Life by Cory Doctorow and Jen Wang. This was fun. This was nice. This was quick, and I liked the art style, and I liked the premise of the in real life versus the game, but there was a certain part of it that just fell a little flat for me. It was a bit too quick and a bit underdeveloped in certain areas. Like, the blurb hints that there's some sort of like morally grey thing happening within the game. Our main character experiences some conflicts between what is right and what is wrong and what she should do in game and in real life. But the resolution was way too quick. It wasn't explored in enough depth. It didn't have enough impact on the story, I don't think, for something that's supposed to be quite a big part of it. Also, I was kind of expecting a little more girl power in this. Like, our main character is offered to join an all-girls guild in this particular game, and I was kind of expecting to see more of the impact of that and the girl power of the all-girl guild and how being a part of that online life would affect her in real life and perhaps build her confidence and stuff, because she is not the most outgoing person. But really, that side of things didn't get explored enough for me. There was one scene in here where our main character dyes her hair red and then kind of does a bit of a strut in school, but that's never explained or explored. Like, there's no lead up to that, it just happens, and it seems a bit out of place within the rest of the novel. Like, I feel like there could have been a build-up about how having her online persona built that confidence within her, and then she kind of pushed that confidence into her real life, but that never happened. Certain aspects of this really did just fall flat for me, but it was fun. I did enjoy reading it. I gave it 3 stars in the end. I don't know if I'd mentioned that already. Yeah, I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't bad. It was good. It wasn't great. I just thought there would be more to it than there was. But if you want a fun graphic novel to read, you know, it's not all bad. I did enjoy it, just perhaps not as deep as I would have wanted it to be. Let's move on to the comics next. I read Zodiac Star Force by the Power of Astra by Kevin Panetta and Paulina Ganuccio? I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. This just looks like a good time, does it not? I think it does. I saw Jess from Jess Reads Books mention this on her Instagram, and as soon as she mentioned it, I was like, yep, I need that. Like, I don't even think she talked about it for very long. It was just this, and I was like, yep, give that to me. That looks like something I would enjoy, and I did. I know my taste. This is about a group of girls who have been given superhero-like powers by a goddess and have to battle monsters to save the world. Does that not sound frickin' awesome? The answer is yes. Yes, it does. The girls all have their zodiac signs, hence Zodiac Star Force, and what their zodiac sign is kind of has an influence on what their power is. So our lead girl is a Gemini, and her power is that she can split in 2. You know, like the twins. I feel like I don't need to explain that. This was really cool. The art is beautiful. It's so colourful and just bright and fun, and I really enjoyed it. Obviously it was very quick, action-packed, loved the plot. My one flaw with this would be that the villain was a bit lackluster. Like, there could have been a bit more depth to that. It just seemed a bit, this person's the bad person, with no real exploration of that at all. So yeah, could have done with a bit more information on why the bad person was a bad person. I hope that makes sense. I gave this 4 stars overall. It was good. It just wasn't like quite 5-star worthy for me. I feel like I have to explain this whenever I give anything 4 stars that I enjoyed. I'm really fussy with giving out my 5 stars now. Like, I have not given out many this year at all. 4 stars is a solid good rating. Just something has to absolutely knock my socks off for it to give it a 5-star rating. So this was really good. I really enjoyed it. I do completely recommend it if you want a girl power comic. Also, I feel like I should mention that it kind of reminded me of Lumberjanes a little bit, in the sense of the group of girls with some sort of connection to a goddess and saving the world fighting monsters, saving everybody. You know, it gave off that same sort of vibe, so I was really into that. And then on the topic of Lumberjanes, I read Lumberjanes Volume 9 on a roll. I feel like every time I talk about Lumberjanes, I have to mention that it's a bit up and down for me. Some volumes are really good, some volumes leave me wanting more. It's a bit of a roller coaster. This was one of the troughs in said roller coaster. I gave this one a 2. I feel like, you know, we're 9 volumes into this now. How many issues is that? Like 30 odd? 35? 36. 36 issues, 9 volumes. I feel like just because you're that far into a story and you already have an established relationship with the characters, that doesn't mean you get to slack on the plot. And I feel like that's what happened here. There just wasn't enough plot. Like, I love the girls. Of course I love the girls. And we've got the addition of Barney joining them as well now, so that's cool. But there wasn't much of a plot. There wasn't an adventure. There wasn't a mystery. There wasn't anything to solve. It was just But as I say, Lumberjanes is a bit up and down for me. This was a down, but that's not to say that Volume 10 won't be an up, you know. They vary. So I will be getting Volume 10 when that's available. I am, you know, committed to the series now. I will probably just keep going with it until, I don't know when until, I will just keep going with it. Hopefully the next one will be better. I have a relationship with the girls. I love this group of girls. Fingers crossed that the next one is better. But as I say, just because your readers already have that established relationship, plot still has to exist. That's my thought on that. Moving on then to the books that I read this month. The first one is Witchborn by Nicholas Bowling. I have a like fully fleshed out review on my Goodreads for this. Like, I've started writing reviews. Like, who am I really? So if you want like fully fleshed out written down thoughts, that is now available for you to peruse. But to summarise, I liked this. I gave this 4 stars. It thoroughly surprised me. You may have seen me read this in my vlog, so forgive me for repeating myself from what I said then. But it surprised me. This is set in like 1500s London? 1577, London, England. Queen Elizabeth I against Mary Queen of Scots. Witchcraft, our main character Alice, who ends up in Bedlam Asylum, mad they say. And I just really liked it. It was a really creepy read. It had the right atmosphere, and with the witchcraft and Halloween and stuff, just a perfect season to read this book. Honestly, if you're gonna read this book at any time of year, make it like September, October time. That's my advice to you. But yeah, I really like this. The atmosphere absolutely sold it to me. Like, it was creepy. The setting was really great, like a grungy 1500s London, and then there was like the mistreatment. Not that I enjoy mistreatment of women, but like it was so historically accurate. Typically I hate historical fiction. I'm not a historical fiction person. Normally if I've seen 1577, I will be like, nope. But something about this just held me. And despite the historical fiction, in fact, I ended up enjoying that aspect of it a lot, like the historical accuracy of it, and just that vibe I ended up really liking. And then the whole witchcraft thing was just fantastic as well. So you had witchcraft in the sense of women who were intelligent and knew things were just being accused of witchcraft left, right and centre. And then there was the actual witchcraft which was happening in here. Like, to start with, that's not entirely evident and it's a bit foggy. Like, is she a witch? Is she not a witch? I don't know. But like, you can sense that something is amiss, and I just loved that vibe. Our main character was great young lady. I will say there was a small budding romance that I could have done without. I don't think it added anything, but thoroughly surprised me. I enjoyed it and I do recommend it. 4 stars. As I say again, 4 stars is a good rating from me. And then finally, 5-star book of the month, best book of the month, very possibly one of my favourites of the year. Whoa, hold your horses. Like, are you ready for this? Vicious by Victoria Schwab. Did that really surprise anyone? I doubt it. I finally read Vicious. Like, holy crap. I have had the old edition of this on my shelf for ages, and then I got another edition that I started reading and put down because my life slump happened. Like, I just suddenly, we don't need to talk about that. And now I've got this edition, and I read this edition, and like, one, it's beautiful. Like, It's so lovely. I love it. 2, it's Schwab, so like, yes, please let me devour you. 3, it was fantastically done. Again, I have a fully fleshed out written review on my Goodreads if you want to see that. If you want written down, fleshed out thoughts, I appear to be putting that out now, so there you go. But to summarise, I loved this. I loved how morally grey everything was. I love how this like reflected humanity in such a creepy way, and it was full of like could-be's is how I would describe it. Like, it's sci-fi fantasy. It's more sci-fi than fantasy, I think, because there's like science entwined with this. But for something fictional, there was such a sense of could-be. And you could see, like, humanity in this. Like, no one in here is a good guy. Like, everyone knows what Vicious is about, don't they, really? You've got these 2 college students, university students, and one of them does a thesis on extraordinary people and how they get these extraordinary powers, and then they experiment successfully. And then they become enemies, and they're hunting each other down, etc. Neither of these characters are good people. In fact, none of the characters in this book are good people, but each of them are the protagonist to their own story. But to an outsider, none of them are good people. They're all very morally grey. They think what they're doing is right, but from an outsider's perspective, it's not. And I just love that. Like, that's so real. I won't go too deep into my thoughts because I think I might do a full-on babble about this because I feel like I could talk for a while about this, so let me know if you want that. But as I say, fleshed out, spoiler-free review on my Goodreads. Let me know if you want me to just talk at you for about an hour about this book, because I probably could. Okay, 5 stars, moving on. That is all I read this month. I'm not disappointed with that though. Although I read like a ton in August, I'm not mad at myself for that little stack of books this month. It was all good. I enjoyed my reading month despite the fact that I had some ups and I had some downs. So that was that. If you've read these books and want to chat to me about these books, please do. If you've enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. Yeah, I will see you in whatever I'm doing next. I don't even know at this point. So yeah, there's that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye!